Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the CODEX podcast. As usual, I am your host, Sonny Kruger. Joining me today is my usual co-host, Tim Morse. And today, filling in for Jamie is the one, the only, the Ric Flair of comic books, Uncle Gary himself.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be here amongst you esteemed gentlemen. Thank you for having me on your flagship show.
Yeah,
Pleasure
having you on here. We know it's going to be a great wild one today with you on here. So we had a lot of fun on the pre-show. So if anybody hasn't checked out the pre-show, go check that out. And now it's time for the main show. Yeah.
Before you get started, Sonny, I think this is the first official time outside of event shows that you and Gary have worked together.
That's right.
This is the first time.
It is.
Yeah, here. So
Sonny, be gentle.
I'll try. But today I'm really excited. So I'm trying to do too much. I'm trying to be too hard on you. I'll try to go easy.
Well, I saw what you did there.
I don't know what you're talking about. But for anybody who isn't familiar with you, Uncle Gary, would you like to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
A little bit myself, like the standard introduction, but really about myself. What are we talking about?
Anything you want about comic books, how you're close to 60,000, anywhere they can
I
find
am,
you.
as my CLZ, I think, told me today, 59,132, I believe, is what my current total is. So 60,000 might happen this year. We'll see. This is a great big year for me because my Genesis book is Justice League of America 111, and it came out in February of 1974, and that is my first book. So this February will march 50, big 50 years of nonstop collecting. And I've said this before, the reason I have 59,000 books is because I never stopped, not for a second, not for a minute, not for a nanosecond. Never did I stop collecting all the way through. I continued, and I always made sure there are three important tenets in my life that I made sure that I devoted my time and my energy to. That is comics, that is football, baby, that's girls. So I made sure that the three most important things were firmly established tenets of my life. So I made sure. So, so comic collecting is a big part of what I do. It's an honor to be on this great station with y'all. And, I came on, I don't know, midpoint last year, and
yep.
Oh man, it just full speed ahead, right? I had a guest spot, and then, I tried to I tried to make an impression, and next thing I know, here I am, baby. So I'm mainly a DC guy. But I'm lucky enough to have a lot of complete runs. Justice League, Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Thor, Daredevil,
Spider-Man. Oh, did we lose him again?
Name a few that you got the complete run of. Name a few.
To name a few. So, and a lot of comic stuff is locked in this brain for many, many years. So to put it out amongst the masses and preach the lore. I'm a co-owner of a comic shop in Northern Virginia called Comic Logic, and on my card it says preacher of the lore. So that's what I am. I am preacher of the lore. I don't want to ever forget the source material and the creators who made this industry what it is. I have, I love that we're doing reviews, like we're doing a nail and another nail. This is a book that's been out for quite a while. So I love that we're going back and we're not just, reviewing the most recent book out there, that we're giving love to these classics. And that's a big, big deal to me. So I really appreciate the fact that y'all do that.
Right on.
And it's a pleasure having you on here. So, yes, today we will be reviewing Justice League of America, another nail. And, last week we reviewed Spider-Man, Daredevil, Neighbors. I forgot to mention, I did like there was a little Winona Ryder joke there. When he talked about stealing. I forgot to mention that. But, I like that. We had Dan Kelly on the show for the first time. We had Dr. Bong join the F list, and we had our very first ever random panel of the week. And that was where we saw Godzilla playing basketball. And we talked about how that was when he played Charles Barkley in basketball. But it was a lot of fun. And this week, like I said, we're happy to have Uncle Gary join us. We will be having Hindsight Lad joined the F list. We'll be having another random panel of the week. Like I said, we'll be reviewing Justice League of America, another nail. We're going over some previews of some stuff coming out. And we've got quite a bit of comic book news. So if Tim will hit that button, I can start us off with the rundown.
Ooh.
All right. So it has been announced that there will be some new members joining the TMNT, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. With TMNT, The Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution, which is set to come out issue number 1, set to come out March 6th of this year. And the new members joining the TMNT are Yi, Uno, Moja, and Odin. And I know Jamie was really excited to talk about it because he's really into that and into The Last Ronin. But yeah, so that'll be pretty interesting to see, especially for those who have kept up with The Last Ronin. Also, the CGC president he spoke about the scandal. Tim, I'll definitely let you take care of that. To that stuff, I know because there's a lot.
I watched that interview in its entirety.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have you talk me through a bit of that so I can understand a little more. And then X-Men 97, there was an announcement of the 10 episode names, so I'm excited about that. You know, I always get on my X-Men stuff. And then we just found out today that Rob Liefeld is set to have a new project, and it is called Last Blood.
That's so creative.
Yeah, all the bloods, man. He's had so many blood stuff. I mean, even too when I was looking back, it was from Bleeding Cool, and they were talking about
that's Jamie's favorite website.
You know what the last thing your blood circulates to?
Something young.
Your feet. So that's why Rob's got problems.
There you go. So he's the small.
My brain went way over there.
But speaking of Rob,
you're measuring snow again. Yeah, I got it.
Oh Lord!
But guys, you tell me you're not excited for this. I mean, he had Blood Strike, Blood Wolf, Young Blood, Deadpool Bad Blood, Deadpool Badder Blood, and now there's Last Blood. Somebody likes using blood in all the names of his stuff.
Okay, so my hot take, I don't care.
I blood, Tim.
I have zero interest unless he is going to take all of his creations that he has access to and throw them in the meat grinder and see who survives. I think that would be pretty cool. I'd read that. But beyond that, yeah, no, I don't care.
If you do it in the meat grinder like that, his title could be Mixed Blood.
Holy smokes, it could.
If he heard this right now, he would steal that name. He'd be taking it down. There we go, Mixed Blood.
I'm surprised Stallone's not coming after him, saying, "Dude, I got the First Blood franchise, and I get to name all the Blood movies. Blood entertainment." So
that's right.
Yeah. Can I draw you as a comic character with small feet? I'll give you 10,000 pockets. How does that work?
Doesn't Stallone even have a Last Blood movie?
I think he does. Yeah,
I'm pretty confident. So copyright issues, ladies and gentlemen, that's on its way.
Yep.
Yeah, even too. We see in the comments. Yeah, pretty much nobody seems to be excited for that Rob Liefeld Last Blood.
not even Rob.
Yeah.
Barry Allen, fastest man alive, says no thanks. Bloody Mary. Yeah, heavy flow. Bloody Marys are good on Sundays. Just saying.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Nobody's excited. But then there was even talk that he had another thing going, that he had a Patreon going, and that people are waiting for it. They're like, hey, we had it set to get ready. We're paying you this money to get this comic shop or this comic going. Yeah, the Defiance. Okay, he's working on the Defiance.
Rob is a creative genius, and you cannot ebb his flow. If something new comes up, the Patreon's just going to have to wait.
Yeah, his the Defiance from a couple years ago. People are still waiting on it, and of course there was Brigade Kickstarter from over 10 years ago.
Wow. Yeah. That's taken a long time.
So, no Brigade.
But when it comes out, it's going to be really good because he's taken so much time to craft it. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Get each pocket individually designed.
Yes. 50 new characters per issue, like Youngblood. Hawkeye spin-offs and
wow.
Everybody like that.
Thanks.
You could have a whole pocket universe, right?
The pocket verse.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But any other news that got you guys excited about?
Well, Gary, what about you, man? Any of the news we had this week got you wanting to talk about it?
We did in the pre-show that that the Washington football team hired a legitimate general manager. Thank you. And that the poor Dallas and poor Philadelphia aren't in the playoffs anymore. This
There we
Washington
go.
fans crying big old crocodile tears.
A collective tears shed.
Mhm.
For those of you who don't know, there's a lot of Cowboys fans here.
Not here.
They're
Not right now.
everywhere.
Yeah,
They're everywhere. They're like, well, you know what? They are like roaches, though. When the light comes on or when they lose, they scurry away and you don't see them anymore.
Say it, Cowboys fans. Say it.
About them Cowboys. Yeah.
It's our year.
As most teams say, it's our year. This is our year. We won one
And only one of
preseason
them's right.
game. Yeah, we won one preseason
Only
game.
one of them's
This
right.
is our year, Super Bowl.
Well, let's go ahead, Sonny, and talk about X-Men 97.
Okay, so for those who want to hear, this is the titles that were mentioned for the upcoming season. So there's set to be 10 episodes, and the X-Men episodes are going to be episode 1, To Me, My X-Men, then episode 2, Mutant Liberation Begins, then Fire Made Flesh, then episode 4, Motendo, episode 5, Remember It, episode 6, Bright Eyes, episode 7, Shine with Strength Reborn, and episodes 8, 9, and 10 is a 3-part series, a 3-part story called Tolerance is Extinction.
Wow.
So with the Tolerance makes you think of the story arc of Zero Tolerance with Bastion. So people might want to pick up those X-Men 52s, the first appearance of Bastion.
Zero tolerance in the extinction agenda, maybe?
Because it's, I wonder, yeah, with the mention of extinction, I'm like, I think of Zero Tolerance with the Tolerance extinction agenda. I kind of wonder, you know.
Interesting.
And so this will carry off where the animated series in the 90s kind of end.
Yep, it's set to pick up right there. So I'm guessing, To Me, My X-Men is probably literally going to be like Xavier returning.
Yeah.
And picking up where things left off.
Recalling his X-Men. Bright Eyes has me thinking that may be a Gambit and Rogue episode.
Maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
Motendo. I saw somebody in a comment somewhere was like, what if it's Mojo? You know, that'd be pretty interesting. Like a Nintendo Motendo. So
gaming. Yeah, he puts you in a game. Yeah.
I think that'd be an interesting one. Yeah, a lot you can do with Mojo. I really loved the Mojo episode they had, or the 2, but there's a lot of good Mojo stories out there. I always find the Mojoverse really interesting.
I would love to see Mojo on the big screen. I think that would be fantastic. I would love
Mojo,
that.
long
God,
shot.
you gotta have, and what a great flamboyant character to play. You know, you would have to be somebody that's just out there. You know, somebody I think Jim Carrey could do an amazing job. Somebody like that that's manic, you know, as Mojo.
What about Patton Oswalt as the voice of Mojo?
Oh yeah,
that'd be
Patton Oswalt, Northern Virginia native. He's come in our shop quite a few times, so he's a Loudoun County boy.
Wow. Yeah. I'd make mention of that next time you see him.
Yeah, tell him he should go for the role. Go for the role, Mojo. Whenever they decide to put Mojo on TV and
Patton Oswalt. I mean, off the beaten track, but one of my favorite things that he did was when he was in Justified. I don't know if y'all ever watched that show with Timothy Oliphant. He was Constable Bob. Oh my God, he was great as Constable Bob. So for those of you that know,
we got Diggs BTW7. Hey, yo, what's up? Not much, fella. How you doing?
We got a show going on. Yeah, that's what we've got going on. We're talking about X-Men 97, and so yeah, we're excited for those episodes.
Yes,
I think I have heard that Mr. Sinister is supposed to have a bigger part this season, so I'm really interested to see more Mr. Sinister episodes. I always love the ones he was on. And Tim, I'll go to that CGC, but the CGC president. I know you guys, you have your whole show slabbed. So if anyone wants to hear more, check out the Slab show. But Tim, if you'd like to talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, so let me break that. Yeah. So if you don't know, there's this whole big scandal going on with CGC at the moment. And somebody, they're saying it's one person, has been able to manipulate the system in such a way with their reholdering process that they were able to get hundreds of books, a little over 300, that are fraudulent books inside the system. To give you an example, 7% of Amazing Spider-Man 300 newsstands are part of this fraud scandal, and over 10% of Amazing Spider-Man number 194, First Appearance of Black Cat, are part of this fraud scandal. So CODEX, along with a plethora of other YouTubers, Instagrammers, and just people in the comics community, have been covering this story pretty much since it was broke by our friend Manu 9.9 Newsstand over on Instagram. Go follow him. He has a wealth of information on this, and he is also on a podcast with his buddy Dave, who is the West Coast Dave Vengers, D Avengers, right here on YouTube too. And that's where you'll find the interview with the CEO of CGC. Dave and Manu did a wonderful job. They asked the questions that they could with the amount of time that they had. They did not ask, excuse me, all of the tough questions, but that's completely and totally understandable, because with the amount of time they had and the type of conversation that they had, a lot of information was brought up. And I know that this is not going to be a one and done. They will have him back in the future to talk about more stuff. But the bits of information that I was able to gather from that, they have figured out that because like the big speculation was that there was more than one person involved. The CEO of CGC, I believe his first name is Matt, was able to kind of put that rumor to rest and state that as far as they are aware, it's only one person that is involved. As far as anybody inside CGC being involved, he said that that was not true. There is nobody in CGC involved with this fraud reholder scam. It was just one person that was able to figure out how to do this, and that was through quality control. And he also stated that a lot of the issues that were problems before are in the process of being recorrected now. And with the thread that is on the CGC forums in their general section in their chat boards, he and others at CGC are paying very much close attention to that, as well as what the community as a whole is saying on platforms right here on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and everywhere else. So they're listening, they're paying attention, and that is definitely what we need. If you haven't seen the interview, it's about 57 minutes. I highly recommend you go check that out if you're invested in what's happening with this reholder scam. If you want to get information on what happened up to that interview, there's a bunch of places you can go, but since you're already right here, why don't you head over to the Slab section on our YouTube page? We've got 2 episodes, CGC Fraud Reholder Scandal, What We Know, and then our update episode with Manu from 9.9 Newsstand. There's a wealth of information in there, and it will give you all you need to know going into the interview that West Coast Dave Vengers and 9.9 Newsstand did.
Yeah, check out our ones. Don't check the other ones out.
Tim, I looked at the link that you sent me today, and I watched most of that interview. It was interesting to see the head of CGC. I'd never seen him before or listened to him talk. It was interesting to hear that he had that his business was a pressing business and cleaning up comics business, and that they were absorbed by CGC, and then ultimately he has been put in charge of the whole shebang. So that was interesting. And then the other thing I thought interesting, now with this guy, he seemed genuine, but when he gave them awards for being comic book heroes, for being vigilant, was that self-serving PR, or do you think he was genuine with that? I don't know the guy well enough to know, is this just a PR shining, polishing the apple move, or what?
in my personal opinion, if like in the very beginning of the interview, I think it was Manu that said, "Hey, we just hit record. We're just kind of going from here." To showcase that award in the middle of the interview, was that in good taste? Probably not. But
People showing awards on their shows. Sheesh.
that guy.
Yeah.
But I understand what the award was for uncovering something
Oh,
so dramatic against, you know, the community as a whole, because it doesn't just affect the higher dollar sellers, right? It affects people like me who buy the lower cost books or don't have as many big books to go in, because we're supposed to trust the company, and now that trust is in question. With that interview, some of my concerns are alleviated, not all of them. But yeah, maybe he should have waited until the interview was over to showcase those awards to those
yeah.
students.
Again, I don't know the man enough to know whether that is
Neither do I.
if it was disingenuous,
Yeah.
or, you know, because part of me, you know, I have a little bit of cynic in me going, okay, is this to is this to generate some goodwill? And those guys do deserve awards.
Oh
right?
yeah,
I don't know
they're
if
the
it's-
ones that broke the story.
I just don't know that it's CGC that should be giving it to them.
That is very true. That is very true.
Yeah.
Can't
So-
argue with that.
Be quiet
just-
next time. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, those guys deserve all the praise and props, but you know what I mean? It's like we're investigating ourselves, you know. So
Well, the investigative team that they have working on this now, so they're doing their own internal investigation, and this is in the interview too. But the team that they have out right now is Cull, Koll, and let me double check that real quick. From what I understand, and those guys, like when you go on their website, the first thing that it shows that these guys do is fraud and counterintelligence and things like that. These guys are no joke.
okay, as long as it's not the cyber ninjas.
It's
Okay.
not the Pinkertons either, so yeah. But the company that CGC has working on this is a pretty big deal.
Okay.
And the one thing from the whole interview that really set a lot of my anxiety at rest was they said that with everyone involved, right? If there are more than one, they will prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. And I agree with that 110%,
Oh, absolutely.
right? It only takes
Execution, right?
Well, no, but it only takes one bad apple to ruin the whole batch. And right now, this apple is festering, and it needs to get out of the batch as quickly as possible. Because, like everybody said, if third-party grading is gone, you know, we need third-party grading. We need that. Not everybody wants to have their books encapsulated, right? But some people enjoy doing that. Gary, I know that
I'm teasing.
yeah,
I'm
I
teasing.
know. I know you enjoy the raw books, but you have some encapsulated
Raw dog,
books
baby.
too. Yeah, but you understand the reason
I
for
do.
encapsulation, and
Yep.
you are not against other people
Nope.
doing whatever they want with their collections, and
Absolutely.
that's the whole point of
Whatever
that
they
thing.
want.
If you're buying and selling books
Yep.
online, you have to have them done this way.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, that way there's no haggling over what's the grade. The grade is the grade. And I understand this. And honestly, like how Sal has them displayed, it is beautiful to display them like that.
Yeah.
So I don't begrudge anybody that does it. I've got too many damn books to start encapsulating books. So
Right.
That's for sure. And I've only done a handful. You know, I did the Swamp Thing, 2 of the Swamp Thing 9s, because that's an important book for me.
Yeah.
And then I've still got 8 others that aren't encapsulated. So that's you know,
Exactly.
but the, you know, and the books do look good. I mean, I will probably get a JLA 111 graded at some point,
Mhm.
because that is my first book, you know,
Yeah.
and it'll be cool to see 100-pager graded, which I don't know that I've seen before, which is really cool. And it would be cool to get a great wraparound cover encapsulated. That would be a fun book to have. But it's only going to be little hits and misses and here and there for me. But there are people that's how they move books. That's how they sell books. That's how they buy books, and also that's how they display books. So
Sal says it's slab or nothing.
It's slab or nothing. Well, damn, Sal, I was going to give you a bunch of books that weren't slab, but you don't want them, so I'm sorry.
Hey,
Sal, damn, they were right here. I was getting ready to bring them to you, but it's nothing. He said it's slabbed or nothing, right? It's nothing. Then I'm sorry.
I'm in the right place at the right time, Sonny. I will arm wrestle you for these books.
Well, it's very interesting because today I've really been working out one fist, because of the show. So my one arm, my right arm is really strong.
So yeah, I'll put my
Sonny got all that. Ooh, yeah.
The largest arms in the world of CODEX.
Oh my god!
Okay.
I'll put my end bit on this, and then Sonny, I'd like to hear what you have to say about this because you have 2 slab books of your own, so you're part of that section of the community now too. But so was everything answered in the interview? No. Was important things answered and brought to light in the interview? Yes. Will there be more questions answered in the future? Absolutely. So it's just a wait and see at this time. As long as it's not Beast of wow.
Well, that's a double negative for you, buddy. They were all the Beast Avengers issues,
Oh my god.
And he's really gonna be sad because the Taskmaster one was in that stack too. Well, that would have been a great one to have slab. And I'm talking this crap about slab. I do have, I think, about 30 slab books.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't have. I do have about 30. My AF-15 is slab. So there you go.
There you go.
So a few 30. Yeah.
No, 30.
A little more than me.
So Sonny, what are your thoughts on this, dude? How do you feel about it?
I think it's bad, and people should be more honest, and they should love each other and hold hands around the world, and also give me money because if the slab thing, just let me know when I can jump on this and be like, let me know when I can jump on this and be like, hey, I have a slab. Yes, Sal, we love you too, and thank you, Sal, because you're the one who got me my slabs. So let me know when I can jump on this and be like, hey, I have a slab and you did the wrong thing. You graded it wrong. This is really a 9.9. So
that's coming out too. So they're gonna have 9.9 pre-screenings.
Yeah, I think I got 2 9.9s.
I'm sending in everything I have to go back.
Can they just come to me and do it and just send me something that I could put on there instead of
how do they 9.9 pre-screen? How?
So according to CGC standards for what a 9.9 is, it can have 1 minor tick on it. And I think in the interview they recognized that they were very stringent on the 9.9s with good reason. But some of those books, like I have some books over here that are 9.8s that I think look a heck of a lot better than that. But 9.9s, they're unicorns. They're incredibly difficult to get a hold of. And now with them coming in with a pre-screen for that, it'd be interesting to see how it works.
Next year, it might not be such a unicorn.
Right. But yeah, like 9.8s are supposed to be allowed to have a handful of ticks on the book. I think even color breaking, if I'm not mistaken. And a 9.9 is only allowed 1 imperfection. Yeah.
All right. Well, before we wrap up the news, I kept forgetting to show this. That I got this on Christmas I was going to talk about in the X-Men news. Look at that. The Wolverine I got is a gift. Yeah. Bah humbug. Yeah, I got that from my sister-in-law, Karen, who is not like those kinds of Karens. I'm more of a Karen like that. I'm more of a complainer, and I'm gonna speak to a manager right now. But yes, I got that Wolverine. I forgot to show it last week. And the other thing I got for Christmas was this Joker shirt, and I'm like, well, I'll wear it for the episode.
Yeah.
But I love the bats. I love the batarangs around your
I do like that too. Yes, I did tell Maria, my fiance, I said I'm gonna be wearing this more than just on Christmas. I'm gonna be wearing this throughout the whole year. So
It's 90 degrees out, Sonny. Yeah, I don't care.
it's fine. It's fine.
Sweater weather.
That's right.
That is
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
It says to sweat in the name. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'll be wearing
That's
that,
right.
you know, as I sweat and my face is turning all red. You know, I'll lose quite a bit of pounds losing all the,
Oh
due to
my
all the sweat. I
God.
come on the episode. Sonny, you lost 10 pounds. Hey, guys.
Oh,
But yeah, so there's that. We'll see what happens in the future. And now we can move on to the previews. Tim, I know you usually like to jump onto some of the upcoming comic books coming out that you're excited for. Anything you're excited for? Uncle Gary, comic books you guys are excited for?
Gary, if you want to take that away, go for it.
Just today, I'm excited to expand for people that haven't bought the individual books of the Hulk. The trade paperback of the first 5 issues of Philip Kennedy Johnson's Hulk book have come out today, and I can't recommend that book highly enough. I mean,
I'm finally caught up on that, by the way.
Oh, good, right? Great, right?
We will talk more on Saturday about that.
Dude, the World War I Ghost Rider.
You wouldn't have a
Amazing,
cigarette by chance, would you? Figures.
Yeah. I asked, so I did message Philip Kennedy Johnson. I said, the fellas want to know, is there going to be any World War I Ghost Rider? I haven't heard back yet.
Oh,
I know. But that.
I love that. The whole
the
scene.
bike, right? Isn't the bike cool as hell?
It's sitting there. It's all dilapidated, broken down. This kid's playing with it. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't read it, it's what is it, issue 6 and issue 7?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. These monsters come at night to attack, and by God, they come and they start attacking this camp. And I knew it as soon as it happened in the panel. I was like, "Oh shit!" And it was like that. I was like, "That's wonderful. That's great." And here comes World War II Ghost Rider on this beautiful Harley Davidson, just screaming and blasting and all of that stuff. And what he say to the Hulk? He's like, "I'm here to protect the kid and only the kid, and you're a monster."
Yeah,
I got to check that out.
Oh yeah. So yeah, they had a misunderstanding, and then the other monsters entered the fray, and then they had an understanding.
That's right. Sonny, this is only 7 issues in right now, so definitely get the trade, read the first 5, and you can pick up the current 2 really easily.
Yeah, I'm happy
the trade. Yeah, the trade has the first 5 and Hulk annual.
Yeah.
Too, yeah. It's only $20 on Amazon right now.
Nice.
So that is a great book. That was my book of the year for the Codex Awards. So.
Well chosen too.
And Philip Kennedy Johnson was my writer of the year. So I mean.
Oh wait, and I also got to see the transformation, like for real. I got to look at that. That was disgusting.
oh my God! And when and after he, it was it was just, and to read how he wrote it, how he wrote the transformation scene, to read the script he wrote was amazing to read that and then look at it. But when it ended up and the Hulk is standing in a pile of blood, and when he's looking in the blood, it's Banner's reflection in the blood. Yeah. That was just a brilliant little touch. But the book, like we said, it's a horror book. It's a horror book.
And I dug the Power Man story too. I didn't think I was going to like that. I'm usually not a fan of the secondary stories that are like 4 or 5 pages, but I read it and I was like, man, that was really good.
Yep.
This is jumping up my list. Definitely jumping on my to read list.
I think you'll love it, buddy. I think you'll love it. So
we didn't steer you wrong on Superman. Gary is not steering you wrong on Incredible Hulk. Trust me.
Yeah, Superman in action have been so good. Like I said, Philip Kennedy Johnson just ended the run in action, and we started anew with the Jason Aaron run.
Did he do the War World storyline?
Yes.
Holy smokes. That was my favorite action story in a long time.
And he had 3-year run on action, which was really amazing. And a little saucy side note of that was where the outfit he had in War World with the chains and all that. Jonathan Kent is looking for something in the closet, and Clark and Lois is closet. And she goes, "Why did you hold on to this?" And his mother goes, "Don't worry about that." And then he's like, "Oh no!" The horror, just like any kid,
Oh my
horror that comes over
God.
their face when they realize that their mom and dad might have a sex life.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, a little bit of War World cosplay there.
Oh my God.
So yeah, and Philip said he got a laugh out of that, and he thought maybe they would censor that, but he was able to put that in there.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
the War World thing was great, wasn't it? So yeah, that was Philip.
It was amazing. Nice.
Nice. And Tim, I know a while ago you and Jamie said you weren't too excited for it with the X-Men 97 prelude. That's coming out, I think, March. I'm like, it is pretty much, I think, a money grab.
Yeah.
But they may force somebody like me into getting it. I may have to check it out just because.
You know, I might pick it up, Sonny. If you pick it up, I'll pick it up and I'll read it with you.
I will let you know if I do get it.
Well, Sonny,
Gary, how about you?
Being a big X-Men guy, yeah, I'll get it. I'm sure I will. Being a big X-Men guy, are you a big fan of the Beast? And if you are, what they've done to him lately, I have totally hated. So, you know,
agreed. I'm right there with you. I'm like, that's one of the things that needs to change. We need our old lovable Beast back.
It's going to change, and the Beast, they're going to have Wonder Man in an upcoming issue. And about 6 months ago, and I pointed it out to the fellas on After Dark, that, you know, where they had these resurrection protocols in their island home.
Yeah, Krakoa,
Krakoa, where they would die. The Beast had gone pretty much like he's acting like the Dark Beast, which I hate. You got a character that does that. It's the Dark Beast. Yep. But anyway, he had destroyed all the resurrection files or whatever to bring himself back, except for those of his time as an Avenger. And I'd said to fellas at the time, why would you even mention that in the story? Why, you know, that's a very specific thing to mention. Mm-hmm. So my hope was that this was how they bring him out of this and they bring back the lovable Beast again. And so it looks like this is coming to fruition in the next few issues of X-Force. And I'm going to be happy for it. And let's bring him back. Let's have him and Wonder Man as best buds again and bring that Beast back that everybody loves. Because this character the past 5 to 7 years has been awful. You know, if it's not Dark Beast,
not the real McCoy.
Yeah, not the real McCoy. I saw what you did there. Very good. Yeah. So I'm all for that.
Yeah, so hopefully soon we could say the real Beast is back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's Sal. Who was it? It was Sal, right? Who wants him in the Avengers again, right?
Yes, that is exactly correct. Yeah.
Yes. Sal has acknowledged that the Beast is an Avenger.
Yes.
You know, as I have professed. He's slowly reeling him in to believe that. You know,
nice.
We had to use math. Tim, we had to use math to convince him.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what Gary's talking about is the Comic Character of the Week episode, Beast. Go check that out. That was really good, and you get to see Gary get a little heated. So
not heated.
A little warm, let's put it that way. For previews for me, guys, if you haven't read it, Sonny, this is issue 1 is out right now. Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh,
okay, it is out now.
Yes,
read that.
We sold out.
Oh, dude, when I went to Nirvana this past Saturday, they were sold out because I was looking for the extra covers on the shelf, and I was like, where's all the extra ones? They're like, they're gone. Whatever you have in pulls is all we have left. And I think they had they were able to find me one copy of one of the alternate Spider-Man suit covers, the Ben Reilly suit where he was in the red and blue with the web shooters on the outside. So I got that sitting in my pull box waiting for me. But yeah, they sold out of everything as well.
Did you read it, Tim?
Oh yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was really good.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. It's so new though. I don't want to spoil it too hard for anybody until Saturday. We're going to be talking about this on Saturday.
All right. You haven't, you better read it because Tim's spilling the beans on Saturday, baby.
If you like, okay, let me put it this way. If you like Zeb Wells' writing on Spider-Man, go read Hickman doing Ultimate Spider-Man, and you will look at what Zeb Wells is doing, and you will become one of us and say, what in the FUCC is he doing on Spider-Man? What Hickman's doing is fantastic. What Zeb is doing is destructive. And I don't say that lightly. I fucking hate Zeb Wells.
Oh,
Well,
oh,
Plain and simple.
see,
It
me
never
and Uncle Garrett
fails.
were being behaved.
I can't. Not when we're talking about the most evil of evil writers. I thought Dan Slott was terrible back in the day. Zeb Wells takes the cake with that, and that cake has since expired. But Jonathan Hickman is the hostess fruit pie of comic books, and it's tasty and delicious and reminds me of my childhood, and it's wonderful. Go read it.
Nice. And speaking of Nirvana Comics, Tim, I think that's the perfect time for us to bring in to mention our sponsors.
What do you know?
Smooth. That was smooth.
All right. Let me go ahead and jump front and center here real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't you go ahead and head over? If you're in the Knoxville area or East Tennessee, head over to Nirvana Comics in downtown Knoxville. Right down there is the address. Go ahead and meet Grant, Jasmine, and the whole Nirvana team. They have a comic for everybody, ladies and gentlemen. And let me show you exactly what they have. They were gracious enough to give this to me to give to you. And I want to do that. I'm tired of having it sit in my house, so it could be sitting in yours. This is their store exclusive of Duke #1. And it's numbered too. 95 out of 250. That's pretty cool. So it's really easy. All you got to do is make sure you are subscribed right here on the Codex station. I see people in the chat right now. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. See, Gary's showing you how. It's real simple. Done. You're halfway there. All you got to do after that is head over to Facebook. Find Nirvana Comics there. It's real simple, real easy. You just got to look for that neat little logo. You see that? Remember that. Because once you find that, make sure to hit the follow on Facebook. Take a screenshot of that with your smartphone, ladies and gentlemen. Go over to the Codex Station Facebook page, which you should already be following to begin with. Share that there. Type in "I'm in," and you're done. That's it. Simple as that. And you get to get one of the greatest books that's come out so far this year. We talked about it on After Dark. Everybody on After Dark loves it, and you will too. And on top of that, you'll be the only kid on the block that has this awesome store exclusive. So there you go. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, head over to Nirvana Comics website, nirvanacomicsknoxville.com, so you can get access to even more comic book goodness.
Wow, Tim, how did you get so much energy to give that promo?
I just so happened to drink a little bit of W Energy before
you guys are good.
I got started. Holy smoke, Sonny, that brings us to our next sponsor, W Energy, ladies and gentlemen. W's been with us for quite a while. We can't let them go, and neither should you. Head over to W.GG so you can save 10% on your order using keyword code -X. It is right there underneath the chiseled chin of the Ric Flair of comic books. Excusez-moi, Mosy vous plaît. W Energy, ladies and gentlemen. W.GG, keyword code -X.
Uncle Gary, I think you're giving me good luck because I usually suck at that stuff.
Those have been too smooth segues. Man,
That's great.
Something about you, it's putting out that smooth, putting out the vibe.
All right, well, that's what I'm here for, babies.
All right, well, are you ready for this? It is time for the random panel of the week.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to see a first on Codex. We are going to have a dramatic reenactment of said panel. Uncle Gary is playing He-Man, the Master of the Universe, and Sonny Kruger, the host of the Codex podcast, will be Fisto. Here we go.
Fisto, my friend, are you all right? Here, let me help you to your feet.
I fisted hard, He-Man, but I could not fist them all.
Oh my God.
That is our random panel of the week.
Brought to you by the Codex Station, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, guys. Which of you wants to go first about this random panel of the week?
Well, I do want to say that if he's fisted all those people as hard as he is, I'm not going to be grabbing his hand like that. So that's all I have to say. And somebody told me it's the other hand that's his fisto hand, but I don't care. I'm not touching either hand.
Well, his other hand is a metal, huge hand that's probably like as big as his whole body.
God.
Well, I guess you get fistoed once and that's it, right?
That takes gaping holes to a whole new level.
A whole nother level.
And that's why this episode is called Fisters of the Universe. I mean,
ladies,
fisting them all.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys get to enjoy this panel as much as we are. That's why it's staying up so long.
It's a good thing the Catholic Church isn't one of our sponsors this week.
Holy smokes. Fisting smokes, ladies and gentlemen. Like a glove.
I don't think the Vatican approves of that.
Oh, Lord. Sonny, that was great.
Those papal police play hardball.
Oh.
Just remember, anybody, if you ever get in a fight just now, you got to refer to it as fisting. Anytime you punch somebody, fisted them. Yeah. Imagine Fisto going out in the field. I'll take on Skeletor. I'll fist Skeletor. If he gets in an argument with
you so hard, you'll never forget it.
That's why Skeletor's voice is so high pitched.
Oh my God.
You met Fisto, yeah.
Till next time, villains.
Nice. Oh man, Fisto getting an argument with Tila. I'll fist you, and you want He-Man? I'll fist you too if you get in the way of
Whoa, Fisto! Hang on a second there, buddy.
It's a double Fisto.
Orko, I fisted you last week, so you better back out of this. Man at Arms,
me so hard.
You already know why they call me Fisto.
You fellas want to tell me again how this is a really family-friendly show that we're doing here?
PG-13 movies, ladies and gentlemen.
F-bombs and Fisto jokes and all
innuendos.
I'm gonna get blamed for this. I just know it.
Those are left up to interpretation. How you interpret it, we have no control over.
Yes.
We have no control if they have dirty, filthy gutter minds.
That is correct, right?
Yes.
If you do, go wash it out with soap.
Actually, me and Tim, we weren't even born in the U.S., so it's maybe our humor.
That's true.
I was born in England. Tim was born in Germany, so maybe it's a foreign thing. Because we don't see any problem with fisting people.
That's very cosmopolitan of you. I love that.
Oh my God. Oh,
damn Europeans.
Oh my Lord.
We can fist who we want,
That's
no
right.
Problem.
It's
no judgment
here. Reading on military bases, so I'm told.
Wow.
I'm gonna come to the U.S. and I'm gonna fist everybody. It's a hello, because I saw it in a comic book before.
That's a hello. Wow.
That's a hearty task. Hang on, we got some chat going on here. Oh, this is back to preview. Sorry, Paul, if you're hearing the fisting conversation. Ultimate Spider-Man is the fire. What do you think? Who do you think the Green Goblin is? Ooh, I don't think it's Fisto.
No.
To be honest with you. I don't think it's Harry either. So I'll put that out there.
I'll just go with the easy pick. I'm just gonna say Norman. I'm always gonna pick Norman.
Norman's dead. So
he's who was Carrion, the guy who came back from the dead? Maybe Carrion.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
It's a random pick.
Was he a wayward son of Norman Osborn's?
Carrion?
A wayward son.
Oh my God, that took me a minute.
Nice.
Holy smokes. Point of no return.
All right, guys, you're not in Kansas anymore.
Oh, very good. Woo, man, that is very good. Oh man,
love it. What's next, Sonny?
Okay, now I can actually give a little bit of the history on that random panel of the week. And are you ready for this? There it is. All right. And this has been a pretty popular picture that's going around comic book groups, right? Yeah. It's a Fisto. I fisted hard, He-Man, but I could not fist them all. But now I tell you the truth is that it is actually photoshopped.
Oh,
I got to tell everybody that, I was like, okay, I got to do my research to find out what comic this was in. And he actually said, I fought hard, He-Man, but I could not defeat them all.
Oh.
Fisto was taking on many opponents. Skeletor was doing so many. He was fighting. He was punching or fisting them, whatever you want to call it, but too much. And then He-Man came and saved the day. He-Man even used a gun at one point. And then in the end, after He-Man took Fisto up, he got the guy on the horse. He-Man rode it. Fisto got in the back like he was a woman. And He-Man said, let's get you back to Grayskull for some rest and hopefully a long vacation from evil.
There you go.
There you go. Now that epic meme that has been out there, the epic picture, we can tell you that.
I don't know if I'm relieved or disappointed.
I was a bit disappointed when I saw it. I was like, I really wanted him to I wanted the whole story of Fisto to just constantly be around every time talking about, like, I'll fist him. I fisted 10 guys today.
Fisto, you got to calm down there, buddy.
That tree came to life, and I fisted that tree. But now we find out that Fisto just talked about fighting and defeating, and now we move on from Fisto. That's it. Now he's forgotten.
he moved on from defist to defeat.
Oh my
God. Nice. But hey, actually, remember how Kevin Smith not too long ago, remember how he redid He-Man and it was all changed? Maybe he can change Fisto so that he actually talks like this.
Holy smokes.
But you know what? Maybe he could stick to his way. Maybe I'll have to write like a fan fiction or something focusing on Fisto, and this is how he's gonna talk like that from now on. The story people want is Fisto talking like that.
Oh my Lord.
He's gonna have a huge fist.
I bet.
Huge bloody fist.
I can't handle all this fisting.
Okay, but are you ready? In hindsight, we can move on to some new things. The next segment, which is the F list.
Let me find the thingy. There it is.
And the man joining the F list today is Hindsight Lad. And
this guy.
There he is. Let's look at those pictures. There is Hindsight Lad. There's HL for Hindsight Lad.
I love his logo. Hang on.
Like a hockey stick. Yep.
Right. Okay, there's more.
There's Carlton LaForgue, a.k.a. Hindsight, the Warriors' resident cyber cowboy.
So he's a new warrior?
He was with the new Warriors.
My Lord.
And there he is. Look at that. He's got one of the Hulk hands behind.
Oh, he's got a fist.
He's got a fist.
Wow.
Fisters of the universe.
And then that.
Being told to shut up by Speedball.
Right. This is my favorite.
There you go. A Hindsight Lad tattoo.
No. Wow.
Yes. I was like, we got to show that. I'm like, we got to show that somebody actually has Hindsight Lad tattoo.
That is certainly a birth control tattoo.
Perfectly put. If you want to keep the ladies away, show them
that'll do it.
Tattoo.
That will do it right there.
Done.
Yep.
I didn't want to have kids anyways.
Yeah, that's right.
Sonny, with our guest today, I think it is only appropriate that in hindsight, Gary should tell us all about Hindsight Lad.
Hindsight Lad? Oh my God.
So do you know what we're talking about? If you haven't seen Dan do it, you get the opportunity to
come up with an origin for him.
Oh yes. Good luck. Have fun. I can't wait.
Oh man. Hindsight Lad, I guess, he's a little nebbishy, nerdy kid that hated how his life was. And so he decided that in hindsight, he'd wished he had lived his life a little bit differently and had been one of the cool kids. But as Hindsight Lad, he can never go back in time long enough to correct the status that makes him a perpetual nerd. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy and loop of doom that he will always remain Hindsight Lad, and he'll never be Foresight Lad.
Well, he actually has had quite a few nicknames, but that is not one of them.
Oh my God.
All right. Are
In
you ready?
hindsight, he should have seen that coming.
Yeah, he should have seen that coming.
Well, you were not so far off with him being a nerd. I think that was
well, that was evident.
Yeah, so
He needs to lay off the greasy foods too.
Yes, yeah, as you can see from that outfit, yeah, you can see he's definitely not sporting the more of a muscular bod like Plain Dealer.
And the acne.
Yeah, you see, you got plenty of it there.
There you go.
And even that tattoo, the tattoo of it was from that picture. I think even
Yes,
the tattoo has the acne.
Oh my god!
There you go. Now that's putting realism in it. Didn't need.
Go ahead and put those right there.
He needs every pimple.
The guy that got the tattoo, in hindsight, I bet he's sorry he did that.
Oh man!
Perfectly put, yeah. I wonder that, yeah. Oh, actually, before I talk about Hindsight Lad, I see we do have a comment from a certain somebody named Jamie Wojcik.
Oh. Jamie says, sorry I'm not there, trying to feel better, but as always, Uncle Gary, you are killing it. Love you all.
Well, thank you, Jamie. Affirmation from the creator, from the high evolutionary that built this channel. So thank you, my man.
Go.
And Jamie, I hope you're feeling better, man. Glad you're able to enjoy the show. And look at that. Now you get to listen to us talk about Hindsight Lad. And actually, I should mention this is Dan
better,
Kelly's
Jamie. Feel better. Yeah.
So Dan Kelly had sent me this picture about maybe a little over a week ago. So
wow.
So Hindsight Lad, his real name is Carlton Lafroig. His aliases have been Hindsight Lad, Hindsight when he got rid of the lad, Carl General Lafroig, H Lad, Mr. H Lad, Cyber Cowboy, and Escape Enterprises.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man, he's got a lot. It says, I'm getting this from Marvel.fandom. He was formerly with the New Mutants. Hey, what's that doing up there?
Sorry.
Fisto, we've already said that you're done until you start talking about fisting.
You know why he's Hindsight Lad? Because Fisto got him from behind once, and he ain't never letting that happen again.
Oh, my Lord.
I was just about to get to. You are correct. That's why constantly wears a cape.
That's what the mirrors are for. Some hindsight. He ain't sneaking up on him again and getting
Yeah. He was formerly with the New Mutant. He was not New Mutants. He was formerly with the New Warriors after his unpleasant encounter with Fisto. For some reason, it mentions that he has an unidentified father. I don't know why they needed to mention that.
Out for milk and smokes. He has yet to return.
Yeah. This is going to surprise everybody, but he's actually single.
Wow.
He's a male, 5'4", 147 pounds, and yes, he's a human. And one thing he's known for was that he found out Speedball's secret identity. Now, yeah, he's a New Yorker. He was created by Fabian Nicieza and Derek Robertson, with his first appearance being in New Warriors Annual number 3 in March of 1993.
Wow.
And now, yes, like you said, Uncle Gary, he was a geek. He was a computer geek, but he's pretty smart, though, so he knows his stuff. And when there was an incident going on in the building, he happened to live with Speedball, and he found out who Speedball really was. And since he really loves superheroes so much, he thought, you know what? I'm going to blackmail this superhero. So he said, you got to let me join the team. You got to let me join the New Warriors. So the New Warriors said, okay, we'll let him join. And that's when he came up with his outfit. But actually, Hindsight Lad actually helped them out. When the New Warriors were captured, they were in some trouble with the Poison Memories. But using Speedball's address book, Hindsight Lad contacted Night Thrasher to let them know what was going on to help save the day. And then, too, when it came to the New Warriors facing Sphinx, he came up with a plan with him and Bandit formed a replacement team of New Warriors. And then eventually they came to eventually defeat Sphinx. So and then later on in time, he said, you know what, I'm going to be done with the Hindsight Lad. I'm going to be more mature. I'm just going to be called Hindsight. And that's when he got rid of his epic outfit. But then in years later on, when it came to the Civil War, he started to change and he took a dark path. And that's when, after the Stamford, Connecticut massacre there, that's when Hindsight Lad, Carlton, he launched a website called Destroy All Warriors. And he started to give up the identities of the Warriors, of the New Warriors. And then eventually he even became surprising, he was a reclusive. He stayed inside. He started to become very paranoid, and he even made a website called marvelornot.com, and he came up with a bunch of crazy conspiracy theories, a galactic hoax theory, a theory about Captain America's assassination. He started to say that the president of the United States was a Skrull.
Wow.
And that the Illuminati was Beta Ray Bill, Brother Voodoo, Dazzler, Lockjaw, Deadpool, and Puck.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he's going through some things right now, and he's still alive. And when it says for his ability powers, none. Abilities, he's a computer genius, an expert strategist, an amateur machinesmith, an accomplished researcher, trivia enthusiast, and a capable organizer. That's an ability. He's very organized, and he's a gifted gamer.
There you go.
There you go. I guess I should put that is on my resume. Hey, every now and then when it comes to me getting jobs, they'll ask me about, are you good with this? And I have to mention, I'm an expert gamer. Also, I'm an expert bowler, just so everyone knows.
There you go.
But yeah, Hindsight Lad was the first to believe Rena Petal's future visions. He was also responsible for designing her costume and giving her the superhero codename Timeslip.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have it. Hindsight Lad with many names. Yeah, real name Carlton. What was he? Cyber Cowboy. All of them, yeah. So guys, that's my thoughts on Carlton Lefroy.
I think, well, with everything that you've told me so far in Gary's origin, I think that he could go from an F list to an E-.
There you go. Uncle Gary, what about you? Do you think Hindsight Lad can make it out of the F list?
I do. Definitely a G list. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, well, there you go. You're going to G list. It is out of the F list, so for me, I think it sounds like later on, it sounds like after Civil War, he's gone like to down this dark path and become a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
But I think with the stuff before, even though he's, like I said, he's kind of dorky, obviously he's not a superhero, but he tries to help out the New Warriors. I think in time they can do something. I think something can be done to kind of save his character. He can stay pretty much as like a sidekick or someone who kind of stays on the computers and says, hey, so-and-so's here. I was able to figure this out. I think Carlton Lefroy, Hindsight Lad, can make it out of the F list.
Okay.
If he definitely does not put that outfit on again.
Right.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it's a bad idea.
Yep. Yes. It's a contingency.
Yes. And hey, he does have bragging rights to say, someone has me tattooed on them. Do you?
Oh, there you go.
So there is that.
There is that. And with that, I say we wrap up the F list. Like I said, Hindsight Lad. And then next week we'll be having more F listers, more random panels of the week. And now it is time for our review of the week.
Yes.
Today we will be reviewing Justice League of America, Another Nail. And before we get started with the credits, Uncle Gary, would you like to show that somebody wrote in your book?
I have this beautiful Justice League of America, The Nail Deluxe Edition, which has the 3 prestige format books of The Nail and the 3 prestige formats book of Another Nail. And this beautiful copy is marred by a scribble from one Alan Davis saying, "Best to Gary, best wishes, Alan Davis." So, not a bad scribble to have on your book. And he was a very charming gentleman to meet, and we talked about this book a little bit, and he loved it. And I love the passion he put into it. He wanted it to be a trilogy, which I found was kind of interesting, but they never got around to it. And in his forward, there's a nice forward that he wrote to this.
Nice.
And he mentioned some of the artists and that he loved, and how he did the panel setups where there's so many full page panels. And one thing he wrote about that is kind of prescient considering what we're doing next week is he mentioned that a lot of that format was from what he got with JLA 200.
Oh,
That it was kind of the way JLA set up, and he had kind of used that format where there's a bunch of splash pages in there. So I just thought that was
nice,
timely considering.
Nice.
Okay, so before I get to start with a little rundown, Tim, would you like to start us off with the credits?
Absolutely. So, JLA, Another Nail. This is an Elseworld story, ladies and gentlemen. Came out in 2004. It was written and penciled by Alan Davis, inks by Mark Farmer, letters by Pat Pretense, and colors by John Callis.
Okay, and I'll get to start with a little run through of the story, not the whole thing, but obviously this is the sequel to The Nail. This is Another Nail, and we start off with a war, and this is between the Green Lantern Corps against Darkseid and the New Gods. And Darkseid has his, we'll call it a doomsday device, and eventually there's, like I said, this is a whole war, so I don't want to go through the whole thing. It's taking a while, but one thing is that Big Barda and Mr. Miracle, they're captured, and it appears Mr. Miracle is killed, but no, he's a master escapist. He always has his ways, and during the war, a Green Lantern is killed, and the Ring chooses Big Barda to get it. They escape, and eventually Darkseid is killed with his device. He's defeated, and then it says that took place during the original Nail, and then now Green Lantern Hal Jordan is letting the Justice League know that the central power battery on OA is depleting. It's losing, it's weakening. So he's trying to figure out what is going on. So, like you were saying a little bit, Uncle Gary, there's multiple storylines going on at the same time. So Green Lantern Hal Jordan's trying to figure out what's going on with that, and he's coming across multiple characters like the Creeper, and he even comes across Star Starfire. And another thing going on is that Oliver Queen, like in the first one, it showed a little bit that he's in very bad condition, and even Jamie said, "Oh, I would like to see more of it." But this is the one that definitely goes into more about Oliver Queen, and he appears like he is pretty much on his deathbed. But there's more to it. He does have a plan, and Black Canary is right there by his side. But then we also go to Superman, and Superman he's for a whole year now he's been with the Justice League. He has been Superman, and Jean tells him, "Okay, it's time. You need a little bit of break, a little break for yourself. Just enjoy life, being among people." So he's with his parents, his new parent in this, his new parents, because in the first one he was raised Amish, and now for the past year he's been with Jonathan and Martha Kent. And so he's spending some time with them, and Lois Lane goes there, and they spend some time together. They spend, some nice romance together. We see them start to, get their romance on, the one that we love between Superman and Lois Lane. But somebody
bow bow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I noticed the next day. I noticed that night when Lois came in, she only had a shirt on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we caught that. But Despero comes to mess things up, and he's like, "I know how to hurt you," and it's through the people you love. These three, but he gets the surprise when Lois and Jonathan beat him down. Even they don't even really need Superman.
Oh, that wasn't Despero. Despero happened earlier. What you're talking about is Eclipso.
Eclipso,
Yeah,
my
Eclipso.
bad.
Yeah, a lot of O's.
Yes, my bad. Eclipso is the one who, yes, Despero attacked Superman earlier. Eclipso is the one who comes, messes things up, gets beat up by Lois and Jonathan Kent. And then also we go to Batman, and Batman is really haunted by the events that took place in the first one with the Joker killing, Robin and Batgirl. But now he's like, oh, he tries to deny it. Oh, I'm fine. I'm looking into Poison Ivy. And eventually, when he does take on Poison Ivy, he still keeps thinking the Joker's after him. And Catwoman is there by his side. But then suddenly they come across Deadman, and he's saying, hey, the worlds are colliding. There's a lot going on. Things are really messed up. And we find out later it's because of the limbo cell. And then also with the worlds colliding, all the multiverses colliding, even demons from hell come out, and they attack Batman, and Batman comes across the Joker again, and now he's even more powerful, he's even more demonic, and he definitely keeps on pushing Batman, like, I killed them, and I'm gonna torture you. And also at this time, like I said, with the limbo cell, they need to discover what could it be, how could this be stopped. So Superman goes to stop it, but even Superman cannot stop and destroy the limbo cell. But there's something else going on, something amazing with Amazo's body. But that's where I'll stop the run through right now of the story of JLA the Nail, another JLA, another Nail. For me, I love the sequel. I love the original Justice League the Nail, and I thought this was a terrific sequel to it. When I, originally read it was years ago, and I originally read it. I was cat sitting at the time. I was cat sitting. Lucky, Capone, Precious, and Tigger. So I had cats by my side. So good memories for me. And I went through the story so fast. The only thing I was like, wow, it's already over. But it was really entertaining. And I guess my only little critique was that sometimes I felt it could be a bit wordy. Like, okay, if they're in a fight, I don't think there'd be that much talking. But other than that, I felt that it was a terrific sequel. I really loved the ending. I didn't want to give the ending away. I felt like the story gets better as it goes on. There's, like I said, with the multiple stories going on at the same time, for each one has like a very satisfying finish and a terrific ending. For me, I, Sonny Kruger from the CODEX podcast with the CODEX station, give Justice League of America another nail, a 9.7 out of 10.
Ooh, Sonny.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
One of my favorite sequels. And which of you two would like to give your review next?
Gary, I'd like you to kind of take the last word on this because I know you're going to have a ton to say about it.
Okay.
So for my take, let me just put this out there. I loved this. I thought this was amazing. Amazing. So it's a slow start to read, but it was very welcome in pace and scope. What I mean by that is that even though it starts off with a bang, like right in the middle of the war in Darkseid, and with Darkseid and Apocalypse and the New Gods and New Genesis and all that stuff, it's wordy, and then after that it gets kind of slow during the investigation process. But like I said, it was very welcome for that. It did not feel to me like it was dragging on, like we were dragging a box spring on the bottom of a river. You know what I mean? It was good. I loved it. There were many plots and subplots, but I never felt overwhelmed. And the thing is like the way Alan Davis did it, both in panel and in written form, when he would transition from one sub story to the other, it was done very well, very seamlessly. And you like right when he knew when to keep you hooked, like he'd get you right invested, and then you're on to the sub story with Superman. Now you're on to the sub story with Big Barda and Mr. Miracle, and now you're onto the sub story with Batman and Catwoman. It was great. The artwork is beautiful. I have always loved Alan Davis's artwork. That one of my Genesis books, where Chrome is a Genesis book, Uncanny X-Men Annual number 11, was in that same pile, and that was written and drawn by Alan Davis too. So I'm very familiar with his work, and it was great to see this, especially in the sequel. The inks and colors need to be talked about too. They really helped shape the visuals. So Mark Farmer's inks and John Caleese's colors were a little subdued, and I dug that. It wasn't all bright and in your face like neon lights. It was very comfortable to look at and enjoyable to read with that. Batman's arc was one of my favorites in the story. And to see the Joker come again, I'll tell you, I didn't think it was him. My first thought that came into my mind was, like, as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, that's interesting. It looked like the way Alan Davis had drawn it, and with things that the Joker was doing, I thought it might have been like a possessed Plastic Man at first.
Because his powers too, yeah. That makes sense.
Exactly. That was my first thought. And I was like, is this Plastic Man? What's going on here? And just reading through it, it was a great resolution to Batman's arc, and it was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed it. And the appearance of Eclipso got a great neat little thing from me too. So
many great appearances in there.
Oh yeah, and it was wonderful. Yeah, your girl Star Sapphire's hanging out with all these other chicks. She's not my girl, guy. Your pal Star Sapphire, she's not my pal. I loved it.
The creeper I forgot to mention when the creeper's like, if you need help finding them, I'll definitely go along with you.
Yeah, just let me know. But to put an end to this, because Gary, I want to hear what you got to say about this, man. Artwork, I give a 10 out of 10. I think it was gorgeous. In conjunction with the inks and the colors, I think it blended very well together, and it looked absolutely marvelous. Writing gets a 10 out of 10, so it's a no-brainer. This is a 10 out of 10 from me. Sonny, I'm 0.3 above you. I loved it. It was a great sequel. What a way to end the story. I wish there was a third, but I'm very happy with these two.
All right, so we love it. Uncle Gary, what do you think of JLA Another Nail?
God, I hated this. Okay. So here we go. This is one of the rare occasions where a sequel is just as good, if not better, than the original. And this was a fantastic concept. The whole nail thing, I thought was a brilliant concept about, with a nail in the tire stopping Ma and Pa Kent from finding an infant Superman was brilliant. But with the art on this is just amazing. We had talked about the panel designs where it's not, where it's, splash page and small panel, big panel. It's just so in your face and bam, it's just so vibrant and exciting. I'm with you. The colors are great. So many splash pages. Here's just a great picture of Dark, oh man, the appearances in here. Now for a JLA fan like me, there's so many great appearances in here. Just a little thing to see the Atom sitting on Flash's shoulder, is just such a callback to a lot of the old League stuff.
Them two kind of bantering back and forth. I enjoy it.
Back and forth. To see Geoforce and some of the Outsiders, Dr. Fate. We got some Metamorpho action.
Classic Zatanna costume too.
Yes, the classic Zatanna costume. Hawk and Dove having a stupid argument like they would do all the time. The Metal Men and Doc Mangus working on Amazo. Now, Amazo is way, way, way back in JLA history because the third appearance of the JLA in Brave and the Bold 30 was the Amazo issue. So that's bringing something way back, as was, y'all had mentioned the three demons. That's Ebenezer, Wrath, and Gas. And they were the three demons in JLA 10 and 11, which was a Felix Faust had brought them onto the out. He had released them. And so they are classic JLA villains, Ebenezer, Wrath, and Gas. So for me to see those guys, and they're not named in here.
Yeah.
I knew who they were. So that was cool. To see Black Orchid, with Star Sapphire and with Power Girl. Like you said, Zatanna's classic costume.
When the Blackhawks
one of the
came in.
Yes. The Phantom Stranger. Love me some Phantom Stranger.
Yeah, I forgot to mention his part was big too.
Oh, yeah, he had a big part. And like always, he's not going to tell you the whole damn story. He's keeping things close to the chest. So you got Phantom Stranger in there. You've got Aquaman and Wonder Woman on a subplot. You get the Legion of freaking superheroes in there. Now, for me, I'm a Legion guy too. So this is hitting all these great DC high points with me. And I give you a little thing here too. So here's a movie marquee. And the movie marquee says The Angel and the Ape. That's an old DC book. The Angel and the Ape that's on the marquee is an old DC book. So it's it's fun to see that. So he had so many Easter eggs. Oh, here's a great Dead Man page.
I love that.
Selena.
Dead Man getting caught in the lockerverse.
Oh, yeah. Alan, to see the Earth 3 heroes, villains, Ultraman and Owlman and Johnny Quick and Power Ring.
We should run. You would.
Yeah, you would. Exactly. So, God.
That science is made up. That's a lie. It can't be real.
Look at that great splash page.
Oh, yeah.
Spectre.
Yeah.
Look who's in the corner there, down at the bottom.
It's Picklick.
That's right. And he was fighting to save the multiverse.
To save the multiverse, absolutely. And then, like you said, you get the World War II and World War I is bleeding in to this. You had Eclipso. You had Lois in a sexy little nightshirt, you know, after some little bit of super action that she had.
Super Nintendo playing.
Yes. The Doom Patrol. Okay. We love George Perez, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's channeling his George Perez on this.
Oh, dude.
With all the characters on that. OMAC in that. Adam Strange.
Seeing Adam Strange as I was reading the page, I was like, whoa, there's a lot here.
Tommy Tomorrow, right. Captain Comet, one of my favorite heroes. Where is he? Right over here. Captain Comet. To see the Legion. OMAC. Just the animal, mineral, vegetable man. So just to see all these great characters. And as we get into the resolution, I don't think I'm going to get anything away, but one of the coolest things was seeing a Mazo with some very appropriate facial hair.
Yes.
That was that's a little, okay, so right, guys, that's a little thing, right? But it's a big thing. It's a little thing that is a big thing because it's just so cool, right? It's just a little tick, but that's the thing that takes us up a whole nother octave, right?
Yeah.
You know, things like that. And with the Amazo thing that happens is great character redemption.
It was awesome. Full circle.
Great forgiveness. Great forgiveness by another JLA that lost somebody dear to her. And so the sacrifice was there, and the fact that maybe our Phantom Stranger knew this was going to happen all along, and people aren't happy about that with him. But still, he played his role wonderfully. Hell, we even had Madame Xanadu in here briefly.
Yeah,
you know. But
Black Canary punched Phantom Stranger in the face.
Yes, she did. And look at that great last page where they're all running away. Oh, just so art. 10, baby. It's 10. It's 10, 10, 10. I think the story, you know, I mean, are we redundant if we give it a 10 out of story? But it's so damn good. And because of the great, you know, what he did by bringing out all these great characters. And for guys like me that know who Ebenezer, Wrath, and Gast are, to do that, that's just, you know, that's showing a love for the medium. And he's also, by reading about it, he fell in love with the books during this time period. He was in England, he was reading the books, and he fell in love with these early JLA books, and it shows. It absolutely shows in how he writes and how he includes these characters in there. So there's so much heart in it, so much nostalgia in it that, you know, maybe I'm being too soft and lenient and this and that. That I'm just going to give it a 10 on both art and story, but I am, because he hit all the chords for me, a lifelong comic collector and fan, that I turn each page and when I see a hearkening back to the past of these great books that I loved, I'm like, oh my God, that's great. He's made me smile, you know, and I read it again today. It had been years since I'd read it. So it was a blessing I was going to be on the show that I had to read this again, because it gave me an opportunity to revisit this beautiful book. So for that, I'm very thankful. 10 art, 10
that's
story.
all Sunny right there.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, 10 out of 10 from Uncle Gary, 10 out of 10 from Tim, and 9.7 out of 10 for me. So awesome story all around. If anybody can't tell, we love JLA, Another Nail, and we highly recommend this amazing sequel.
Yes. Oh my God. Sonny, thank you for choosing this. Gary, thank you for your wonderful review. Sonny, I'm happy. This is great. This is amazing.
I'm happy we got to, like I said, a couple months ago, go over the nail, and then today go over Another Nail. And it is unfortunate that there wasn't a third in the trilogy, but amazing stories that we always enjoy going over. And I'm sure I will revisit it again and again and again.
I'm going to look for that hard copy. That looks great. That deluxe.
It's a beautiful book. Yeah, it's. I can't remember what year. I bet it's been in the last 5 years. This is kind of.
Oh yeah.
But this is a, because I had them both in trade separately, but to have them in one nice big deluxe book is, fantastic.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Nice. Okay. Well, I want to say that wraps up this episode. Next week we'll have Uncle Gary back on, and we will be reviewing Justice League of America number 200. I'm excited for that. So, this year I've been trying to come up with ways to say goodbye, but today, since we have a special guest, I'm just gonna pass it to Uncle Gary to say goodbye.
To wrap up this show, well, I tell you what. I'll tell you about a little teaser on next week's episode. It's also going to wrap up with 2 10s for me too. So there you go. So, but if you want to see how that 10 rates with this 10, you come back, and I'll tell you, because it's a perfect 10. And you know what else is a perfect 10? A perfect 10 are my co-hosts we have right here. We have Tim the Terrible. He's a perfect 10. We have Sono the writer. He's a perfect 10. The Codex Station podcast, it's another 10. So when you're with us, you're rolling 10s, baby. We are 10s down the line. And, we started off this episode with Tim talking about a strong 10, and here we are. We circle back to a strong 10, and that strong 10 is how you measure snow. So there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God. Okay, yeah, I'll just get these out of the way real quick, and then Gary, you can tell everybody to go to bed. We are on all the socials. What do we have, Gary?
We at the Codex Station, we have all the socials, and we want to give them to you.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. At the Codex Station, follow us on your favorite social media platforms and where we're live streaming right now. Make sure to hit the like, share, subscribe, and follow. That helps more than anything else for podcasts like this. And if you're watching right now and you have enjoyed what you've watched, please hit that subscribe, hit the like button. Let us know. We would love to see more of that. That would be amazing. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be the coolest kid this side of the spinner rack, go ahead and head over to thecodexstation.com for all your Codex needs. Get some merch, meet the team, and so much more. Once again, thecodexstation.com. All right, Gary, the wheel is in your hands, good sir. Take us home.
All right. I just want to say it's an honor being on this show. This is Codex Station's flagship show, and I hope you will continue to be on this show where we talk about this medium we love with such esteemed hosts as Tim and as Sonny, and then they even let a vagrant like me drift in every now and then, trying to fill the formidable shoes of Jamie, and they'll let me come back for 2 weeks in a row. These guys just don't know what they're getting into. Look what happened when they let me on after dark. We were talking about ticks earlier. It's a tick. Work my way in, but it's wonderful to be on the show. And please come see us next week and every other daggone week after that, because what we are is we are advocates of this hobby, of this art form that we love so much. And don't let anybody ever tell you that comics aren't an art form, because they sure as hell are. They are an art form. They're an original American art form that we have given to the world. And it's something for us to be proud of, something for us to revel in, and something for us to dissect and remember the history of, like we did today with Another Nail. These creators that have gone before us, that have crafted these wonderful stories that are the foundation on anything we read today. But we wouldn't be here if in 1938, Action Comics 1 didn't show Superman lifting a car over his head. And you know why he could do that? Because he's a comic book character, but because comics make you strong. So again, read comic books. They make you strong. And you make you strong in mind, make you strong in body, and they make you strong socially. So come in our circle where we discuss.
We discuss the love of comics, ladies and gentlemen. You cut out there for a second, Gary.
We discuss the love of comics, and if anything, if you don't take anything away, just understand that we really want to embrace you in this circle, in this family, and love you the way that we love comics.
See you next week.